Hello and welcome back to another Weather Guy video. Today we will be talking about possible winter storm Ruth, but if it doesn't get named, it will be a storm that produces a decent amount of snow across the northern plains, as well as some rain. It's a very long-lasting storm that will be moving through the central part of the country over the next couple of days. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell if you never want to miss another Weather Guy video. First, I want to start with the NAM 3-kilometer model, just to play out how everything will go, and then we'll move on to the 12-kilometer model, and then we'll move on to the European model. But here is the NAM 3-kilometer model. Here's the low pressure that we're going to be following, and let's get into it. So we're going to start with the low coming out of the Rockies, generating a little bit of snow in Montana, North Dakota as well. Then that moves into Canada. Then we really get into the major part of the storm, which is really going to be right over here. Now that all comes out, a little stronger area of snow, as well as the rain side starts to pick up as well. Then that continues to turn and pivot itself toward a more north-south orientation. Now, as that continues, we get more and more of these bands or like chunks of snow that develop here. There's another one, and then we end up with this almost north-south orientation. So let's move on to the NAM 12-kilometer model, where we have a little bit more to go over. So as that continues, it continues to pivot, and more of the snow kind of starts to dissipate, and we kind of get this front as well that we can follow through, and that might be firing up some storms. Now, while we're in Tropical Tidbits, I do want to check the total accumulated precip, snow totals, and the wind. So let's move on to the total accumulated precip. So here we are. We're going to be focusing on this part of the country. This over here is the system that's currently moving off the coast, and it'll kind of stall out over here. So let's start this up. So as you can see, most of our precipitation is going to be where that snow part kind of moves through. So that's where we see this kind of line here with the pivot. And then you get some minor rain, probably mostly less than ½ an inch in the central plains, but some areas could see higher, specifically down south when you get some of that Gulf moisture. But mostly you're going to be seeing more significant precipitation totals where you're seeing that snow. Speaking of snow, here is our total accumulated, well, total positive snow depth change, not total accumulated. So we have a couple of significant bands of heavy snow, and that all comes with the pivot as well as the waves of snow that come through those chunks. So we have our first band in North Dakota, western South Dakota, into Colorado. Then you have our second band of snow, the more significant of the two, in Minnesota, southeastern North Dakota, central South Dakota, and partially into Nebraska. All the other snow totals are pretty insignificant, probably just a dusting at most. But really in April, which is when this will be happening, you're probably viewing this on April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's Day. But most April snowfall does occur in this region. Like you're going to see most of your snowfall in this region, mostly in April. That's because we have that Gulf moisture really pulling up a lot of storms, so the southeast really gets hit with severe thunderstorms. Low pressure's tracking through here. You still get that polar air coming from Canada, and that just sets up right over here. So, let's get into the wind. And here's our low pressure. And we can kind of see that front play out really clearly. Like, right here, we have this area, this kind of like pocket of stronger winds, and that's really where our front's going to be. Just pushing the wind across, and you can see that dives as the low pressure moves, and that just starts to weaken as the low pressure weakens. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications when I post another weather guide video. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.